I don't know how to start this at all. Hey guys, it's Kip. Welcome back to another video. Today we're doing the Q&A finally. I haven't really had a lot of time to film and I've been kind of going through some things, but we are here to finally answer your questions. I think the Q&A was originally for like a thanks for 2K special or a thanks for 1K special, and we have grown much more since then. Again, like I've said before, YouTube is kind of a hobby of mine. I do have a full-time job. I'm kind of a grown-up. We'll talk about it, don't worry. I'm also filming on my webcam today instead of my phone. I don't have any fancy equipment, so we're stuck with the crappy quality that we got. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I grabbed most of the questions that were very common. But let's get started and go through these questions. We're gonna kind of try to go in some kind of order of what's going on with the channel and then things about me that you guys have asked. One of the first questions I got is, how did I get the name Mr. Kip? So Kip is sort of an online name that I've gone by for quite a few years. I usually use the name like Kipsticks or something like that because I think it's funny and it's like fish sticks. It's funny. It's funny. I'm a funny guy sometimes. And when I started streaming the FNAF games on Twitch, the name Kipsticks was taken, so I still used Kipsticks, but it was spelled a little differently and I didn't like that. So I was trying to think of something else to do. And I'm really into like crystals and witchy things like that, so I was like, I don't know, Mystic Kip. And then it just kind of stuck. If I knew I was gonna kind of move on to doing like FNAF content like this, I probably would have picked a different name. But now it's kind of stuck, and I don't really feel like changing it. So that's what we're gonna work with. Speaking of the channel itself, a couple people asked if I ever thought it was gonna get this big. No, absolutely not. I had no idea this was going to happen. And this also ties into a lot of questions I got into like what got me into collecting and things like that. So I am a very annoying friend to have. I love sending my friends the most stupid things. There was one day, I think I actually watched Puggo do a FNAF hunt, and I was like, I want to do that. So I went and I did a FNAF hunt. I went to, you know, the mall, I went to Walmart, Target, you know, the usual places we usually go when we go on hunts. But I didn't film it for YouTube. I filmed it to send to my friends on Snapchat. So they just got endless Snapchat videos nonstop of just me walking around the stores. You know what I mean? And sort of as I was doing that, I think one of my friends was like, you should just upload this somewhere. So I was like, okay. And that's how it sort of went on YouTube. That big Firework Freddy one, that was like the first hunt I ever filmed and planned, and I was super excited, and I didn't expect it to really do anything besides just be something funny on YouTube that my friends could watch. And it just kind of blew up. I actually started the channel because I wanted to upload my Twitch streams. I really wanted to get into streaming games, and obviously I really like Five Nights at Freddy's, and I've always really wanted to play the games. I've been a fan since probably around the beginning, but I've never played the games myself because I was like, I'm just a little baby and I'm scared. I don't want to play FNAF. That's scary. So I basically decided, if I'm gonna play the Five Nights at Freddy's games, I might as well stream them so people can watch and laugh at me. It was sort of an accountability thing. Like, if I made a schedule to stream once or twice a week and go through all the FNAF games, I have to play them. And that's sort of where it all started. The YouTube channel was mostly made just to upload those streams, like stream recaps and things like that. And then I kind of teetered off into the hunting, and now we're here where we are today. And you know, it's been an interesting ride. I'm really cool with it. I don't know if you guys are. Some people asked, how did I get into collecting? How long have I been collecting? What's my first item? The first item I ever got in my collection is the GameStop Glamrock Freddy. So I have not been collecting for very long. I've been collecting for maybe 6 months or so, but I am a grown-up with income, which is why I've bought so many things. Now, sort of as a disclaimer to like preface this, I don't buy very many things at retail price. I get a lot of things secondhand for really cheap, which is why I've sort of amassed so many things in such a short amount of time. But I'm on a bit of a buying break right now. I kind of got all the things that I really wanted to get my hands on, so I'm not really searching for things unless something really pops up and catches my eye. So we're kind of chilling on the collecting for now. Save a little bit of money, you know what I mean? Somebody asked, how much money do I usually spend at a hunt? It kind of depends really on what I'm looking for. The first one I filmed, the Firework Freddy one, I spent a lot of money because I was really new into collecting and I was really excited to actually go look for FNAF things and buy them. So I just was buying like everything I could get my hands on. Nowadays, I'm a little bit more conservative where I have specific things I'm looking for, or if something that is really uncommon pops up, like I'm never gonna specifically go on a hunt for like tie-dye Springtrap. But if I see them at the store, I'm gonna buy them, you know what I mean? But other than that, I'm really toned down on a lot of things. I only really want to collect the things that I want to own. I'm not really the kind of collector that's like, I need everything in box, I need everything out of box, I need 400 of these, I need everything. I don't own the Security Breach action figures besides Glamrock Freddy because I don't like them. I don't like the design of them. I don't like how they came out. They could have been so much better. And yeah, I love Security Breach, but I'm not gonna buy them. I don't need them in my collection. I'm not that kind of collector, you know? Things like that. So I'm a little toned down now is what I'm trying to say. Again, the spending really depends. I would say, especially because I'm really impulsive and I like to pick up things like mystery minis, I probably spend like 50 to 60 bucks per hunt. But sometimes I leave with like one thing and I'll spend like $12, you know? It's really subjective. Next question is, what is the most expensive item in my collection? Probably my Shadow Freddy. I think he's probably the most expensive one I own, like collector wise, but like I said, I get everything secondhand mostly. I got him from Facebook Marketplace in this huge lot for like 80 bucks. So I think that added up to like $4 for him. He's not in the best shape, but I do own him and I'm happy to own him, so I'm not gonna complain. What was the hardest item to get in my collection? That's a really good question, just because I've been amassing so many like random things over time. Usually what I do is I just kind of find things as I get them. I don't really actively seek out a lot of things besides Funtime Freddy and sister location things. Like a lot of things that I got is just I was scrolling on Mercari or the marketplace and they were there. Like the things that I have specifically gone out to look for that were hard to find were Firework Freddy. Now I find him almost everywhere now, so I don't know why I made that such a big deal. Realistically, I could say maybe the sister location hero worlds. I had my eyes on them for a super long time. If you watched my unboxing video from Collector's Cove from Beth, she actually got them for me, kept her eyes out for me, and we did a trade. But those were from the UK. I guess I could call that a little bit hard because I had to kind of go to, you know, another country to get what I was looking for. But other than that, nothing's been super hard to find. It's kind of, I just stumble across them as I get to them, you know? I really liked this question that was, do I think if I would stop filming hunts, would I lose the majority of my audience? And the answer is yes. Anyone who is on YouTube, if anyone else who is watching this is a FNAF like YouTuber, you know that your hunts are the ones that get the most views. People love these things and they're really fun to film. And I love hunting for things and seeing what I can find. But it is expensive and it is very time consuming. I would love to do a lot of other things with this channel. I really can't because I don't have the time. But I love channels that cover like FNAF news, merchandise news, reviews, tier lists, and gameplay is something that I really like. I don't have the time to do all of those and I really wish I did because I enjoy doing them. But I do know that the views on those aren't as good. But again, YouTube is a hobby for me. I'm not looking to, you know, make a job out of it. So I can really post what I want and I don't care. But that doesn't mean I'm ever going to stop posting hunts because I love doing hunts. Don't talk to me about the day they stop making FNAF merchandise because I think I might cry. Because what am I going to post? What am I going to post? The biggest purchase that I ever did was honestly probably when I got my Molten Freddy and Scrap Baby mystery minis from Riker. I think that was the biggest purchase that I actually dropped money on. Like, if you mean my most expensive purchase, probably that, because they're a pretty penny and I wanted them really badly. Like I mentioned before, most of the more expensive things that I own, I've gotten in lots on Facebook Marketplace for really, really cheap. So they're not really like big purchases, if that makes any sense. My favorite FNAF YouTuber is probably Dako. I love Dako. I think I watched a lot of Markiplier back in the day. Like Markiplier was my big like introduction to Five Nights at Freddy's, but eventually I sort of slid over into Dako's space and I love his enthusiasm and his energy. Like I can tell that he really enjoys it and he's so cute. Okay, I love Dako so much and I just love watching his content as well. He's just a cool guy. I just like him. All right, more questions about me. I get to tell you guys all about me, my favorite thing to do. What got me into Five Nights at Freddy's? I believe I had a friend who mentioned Markiplier playing it, and then I watched it, and then the rest was history. How old was I when the first FNAF game came out? I was in college. I was 20 years old. You can do the math from there. A lot of people who like Five Nights at Freddy's know how it goes. You really like it. You're really into it. You watch Markiplier play it like twice a year. At least that's what I used to do. And then it would teeter off. You'd go over into your other interests and then it would just smack you back in the face a couple months later. That's kind of what happened to me when I started streaming and making this channel. And now it's just kind of stuck in my brain and now I'm stuck with it. And I'm not complaining, but it's just really funny. Favorite item in my collection is my Funtime Freddy Funko figure. He is so perfect. I love how they designed it. He looks so good. He's such a good figure. And I don't mean that like, I'm not just saying that because he's my favorite character. It's just a really good figure. I love it. Speaking on the topic of Funtime Freddy, people were asking for my favorite characters, and somebody was literally like, why Funtime Freddy? So Funtime Freddy he wasn't my favorite character from the get-go. He was just kind of there. I was like, oh, Funtime Freddy. You know, I really enjoyed Sister Location as a game. When I started reading the novels is kind of where it started growing a little bit more. If you've read through the Silver Eyes trilogy, you know in the fourth closet, Funtime Freddy is there. He's a little bit different, but he's Funtime Freddy. And I don't know if it's because when you play the games, you don't get as much story as opposed to, you know, reading a book. So reading through just how he was in the fourth closet was just like, I love this. I love this guy. Even though like he wasn't really as Funtime Freddy as he is, especially like in Fazbear Frights, which I'll talk about that in a second. Freddy animatronic bear chasing these kids in like a mirror maze, if I remember correctly. But I don't know why. I just loved it. It was my favorite part of the book. I was like, I love this guy. This guy is great. Then whenever I got into reading Fazbear Frights and we get to Count the Ways. If you've read Count the Ways, you know Funtime Freddy is goddamn insane. And for some reason, as I was reading through that, his mannerisms and the way he spoke and just how he was, I was like, that's mine. That is my guy. He's just been my favorite ever since. I just enjoyed the way that his character was written. The way that I see the Funtimes, especially Funtime Freddy, is that, I don't know if this is gonna be controversial or anything because there's a lot of discussion of like Remnant and the Funtimes and blah, 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 blah. Ignoring that for a moment. The original animatronics in FNAF 1 are obviously possessed by the murdered kids. So they're possessed, they're angry, and you know, they're going after the Night Guard. The Funtimes, on the other hand, especially Funtime Freddy, is just insane and wants to kill kids, you know? I don't know. It's weird, but I just like the insanity of it all. I just think it's really interesting, and I just like Funtime Freddy, okay? Like, I could talk about this for hours. It's awful. As for other favorite characters, because a few of you asked for my favorite character from each game, we have Freddy Fazbear, Toy Freddy, no, Withered Freddy. I love Withered Freddy. Phantom Freddy. Can you see the trend here? I hate FNAF 4, so I have no favorite. Nightmare Bonnie, actually. Let's say Nightmare Bonnie. I do like Nightmare Bonnie. He's kind of cool. Funtime Fred Boy. Lefty? Lefty's kind of cool. I would say Molten Freddy, but we don't really get much of him. We don't get much of Lefty either. Lefty. We're leaving it at Lefty. No. Molten Freddy. No. Yes. Glamrock Freddy. What am I missing? FNAF World. Toy Freddy. I've never played Help Wanted. I really need to because they're starting to like tease that it's coming out soon. I don't remember if I talked about Security Breach yet. I'm gonna say Glamrock Freddy again. Put him in there twice. Put him in there twice. Did I miss any? No. FNAF AR? Firework Freddy. Next question. Another question I got is, do I have any other interests or franchises that I enjoy? Of course I do. I was big into Genshin Impact for a while. I still really enjoy it. I love the MCU. Doctor Strange is my guy. Fire Emblem, a lot of different anime like Jujutsu Kaisen, Haikyuu, yada, yada, yada. What are other things that I'm very interested in? I play Overwatch. I like Overwatch a lot. Sonic the Hedgehog. Been there since such a long time ago. Honestly, I have a lot of interests that I can't think of them right now. I've been so like Five Nights at Freddy's in the brain lately that it's like the only thing I can think of lately. I went and saw Ghost a couple weeks ago. If you saw my community post, I'm really big into Ghost right now, like the lore, the band, the music. So that's, I guess you could call that an interest too. One other question that people have been asking a lot about is a giveaway. And I promise you guys, I'm trying to figure it out. I have quite a few things just put aside to give away to people, but the legality of it all, especially with minors and things like that. And it's really complicated. And everyone else who's doing giveaways, please tell me how you do it. Like I need Puggo to get in here or something. Like, I don't know. I need help. I want to do it so bad, but I have no idea where to start. And I think that's it. I think that's all the questions. But anyway, if you guys have any more questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments and I'll try to get to them at some point. Thank you guys so much for all the support lately. Like, we have been growing so fast. It's absolutely scary. I've been trying to figure out how to get a Discord together. I don't know. I'm working on it. I've been really busy. Like I said, YouTube is a hobby of mine, not necessarily my job. So be a little patient with me as I still try to figure this kind of stuff out. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you have more questions, let me know down below and have a great day. Bye.